Fukunaga is kind of caught up in a Me Too situation of his own.
He says, a woman clearly says no to Bond. She says no, 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 and he says yes, yes, yes. Well, you, on the set in March 2013 on True Detectives, you were the one who said no, and he was the one who said yes, yes, yes. Pretty sure it wouldn't fly today what he did on the set of True Detectives.
Since I've come out with this story, some people have tried to minimize my character's involvement in the show, my character's role. Some people have said I was an extra. Absolutely none of that is true. None of that is correct. TheWrap.com published an article saying that someone from the studio or someone close to the production said that I was cast online, which is definitely not true. That I was presented with a SAG standard agreement with a nudity writer, which is also not true. And I have emails from my agent where she said I had other actors on this show who agreed to do nudity and they had the writer. But I didn't, because they never asked me to do it and it wasn't in my contract. Absolutely not. I think I read for a different character first, a character called Kelly. I was called back to read for this character, Kelsey Burgess. For True Detective. I went in to the office at Second Line Stages in New Orleans, which is also where we shot American Horror Story. A lot of it was shot on stages at Second Line. It's a big studio in New Orleans. Generally, in my experience, it's not another actor who's coming in to read with you at the callback. But at this callback, they had another local actor who was also on the show, there to read opposite me, because they wanted to see us improvise. This is important to the story too, I feel, because that was part of the criteria that they were looking for to cast the role that I was reading, was acting ability, improvisational ability. In the script, it was only a few lines between us, but they had him asking me questions off the cuff, and I was to respond in character, which I did for quite a while. Generally, whenever a role has nudity, that is disclosed in the character breakdown before you ever audition, which would include things like the character's name, possibly an age range, possibly an ethnicity if that's important to the character, and also if there's gonna be nudity. It's generally included in that email. So there was none of that on this character. And the only scene I had been given was a scene where she was off the clock. She was not dancing, she was not stripping. Again, none of that was disclosed to me or asked of me up until the time I got to set. I had actually just gone to South by Southwest, the music festival in Austin, right before that, and I wore this like cage back tank top and got a horrible sunburn in the shape of a bunch of little rectangles on my back. So because of that, I had to have full body makeup. I had a wig on, I had everything, full hair and makeup, full body makeup, everything was done. I had fake press-on nails. And then at lunch is when the producer and director, Cary Fukunaga, approached me to discuss the issue. I was pretty hysterical. I felt like I was being backed into a corner, that nobody was listening to me. And I remember him being like extremely detached. You know, I was clearly really upset, and he was just like, you know, like no emotion whatsoever. I felt like I had really proven myself and shown a lot of ability with my acting, and I stupidly thought that I was valued as an artist and as an actor in that situation on that day. And because what they were doing was wrong, I never thought that I was gonna get fired. I felt like this is just the way the industry is, and that was a long time ago, you know, that was before the Me Too movement, that was before anybody really cared about these issues. I didn't think anybody cared, and they didn't. Everything that's come out, all of the allegations that have come out after my story came out, I never expected it. I thought actually the opposite. I assumed that when my story came out that people and actors and actresses would come out with statements of support for Cary and say what a great guy he is and how much they love working with him. And that was scary too, to be faced with the real possibility that when I tell the true story of what happened to me, that people will defend him and they will pile on me and make it seem like I'm the only one who had a bad experience with him and that I must be making it up. Because as we've seen, it's believe all women unless you really like the guy. It became something that I never imagined that it would. I just wish that I had more support from any support from HBO, any acknowledgement that this did happen and that it wasn't right. That's it.